All right, we're live and back here. Here we go. New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's if I don't catch you before anything else, but definitely looking forward to talking to some folks about going after their dreams. And this is what it's about. This is why I'm engaged in the inspiration business. And definitely want to make sure that if you're listening, if you're watching, pay attention to how to start off the new year and stay committed to what you want to do with your dreams. And so this is definitely about going for your dreams and how to transition from being a dreamer to a doer. You know, it's great to have ideas, but at some point you got to take initiative and make it happen. And so that's what this is about. And so here we go. John Maxwell says it probably best. The dream starts us on the success journey. The dream starts us on the success journey. The dream is a starting point, but that's not where things end. And so hopefully as we take on this journey together right now and going into and throughout January, we're able to see what we're able to do with our dreams and what we're able to do with our dreams. And our dreams, like it says, they start us off at the starting point. And if we keep that in mind, hey, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And how are you going to get what you want? You know, that's the whole thing. And that's what it is. The dreams are the starting point. They're not the end of it all. And so let's keep that in mind as we start this journey. Let's keep rolling and look at this some more. Boom. You're here because you got dreams, right? And if you got dreams, here it is. Walt Disney says it. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. You got to do something with it. You got to take some action with it and get active with it. And so that's part of it. And so now's the perfect time to get busy while it's on your mind, while it's a new year. Start with a clean slate, you know, whatever it might be. But why not get busy now? Here's a warning just before we get too far into it. Do not wait. Like I said, why not get busy now? Now would be a perfect time to get started. Now is an opportune time to get started. And I would say that's what happens. People procrastinate, people wait. And procrastination is the enemy, the nemesis of progress. So definitely don't wait. Do not listen to naysayers. I'm going to share this with you. One of the guys who I definitely look at and I see what he's done and is doing with his business, with Athlete Advantage, Aldo Chavez, along with Monique. They're both doing some things with the business that they started during the pandemic. And so people said don't start, but you know, you have the initiative to get started anyway, despite, you know, a global pandemic going on and still going. And that's success beyond what many businesses see within their first year, more or less 2 or 3 years. So definitely do not listen to naysayers. And then secondly, do not expect overnight success. You definitely have to keep in mind that success is built upon, one, how you define it, not how others define it, and how you define it on your own terms and in your own timing, as well as basically success is measured by how you define it and put it into a context that is something that you can look at and say, hey, I achieved that. I knocked that out. I crushed it. I nailed it. That's success. And so success isn't simply somewhere you're trying to get to. Success is what you're trying to be. Be a person of success, a person of value. And so don't expect that to be overnight. If you're looking for fame and fortune, that doesn't happen overnight. And in most cases, it tends to change up right, folks, if it happens overnight. You got to start with your mindset, right? You have to start with your mindset, and you make a mindset shift. And that's part of the transition. And you start with a mindset shift that transitions you from just being a dreamer to also being a doer. Like I said, I'm in the inspiration business. I'm in the business of trying to inspire people to do more with themselves, to take initiative, to leave an impact. And that's what I'm trying to do right here. Get started, get going, right? You need motivation. Let the motivation move you. Let it put you into a different place. But that's what it is. And so you need a mindset shift. And so I say a mindset shift simply because when we talk about a mindset shift, it's a lot to deal with and look at when we talk about how we're going to do something, why we're doing something, what's our purpose, what's behind it. And so look at this from Napoleon Hill, right? And this is something that simply Napoleon Hill put out there. It says, every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts which he permits to occupy his mind. What's filling your mind? What's got your mind occupied? So when you work on that and you work not just with what you have, but you work on that, you put your focus on that, then you can work towards something. That's part of it, that mindset. And so if your mindset is there, then you can begin to make that mindset shift, right? And like I said, Walt Disney said, quit talking about it and begin doing. And so once you put some action behind it, then you have what they call sweat equity. And that translates into lessons learned, a different experience, different exposure. It brings and attracts other people to it once you start doing something. Well, when I got into ministry, one of the things that people would talk about is, if you do the ministry, the money will follow. And basically, don't wait until you have enough money to get started doing your ministry and building from there. Get started doing your ministry, and things will happen to where things are taken care of. People will be attracted to what you're doing and want to support that. People will be attracted to what you're doing and want to join in and help serve. And so a lot of things that other people would have to pay for, a lot of that comes along with once you're started doing. And so taking action makes a difference in how you're able to get started, because by taking action, you're not just talking about it, you're being about it. And so that action also needs to be aligned with an attitude, right? The action needs to be aligned with an attitude. And I say that, and follow me along with this. To go for your dreams, you need an attitude action alignment. And your attitude needs to be in alignment with your action. And so what type of attitude should you have? What type of action should you be doing? Here we go. This is just plain and simple. You need to have confidence. Build confidence, maintain confidence. You need to have confidence. And in having confidence, that means you believe in yourself, your own ability, confidence. You got to have a positive outlook, right? Positive self-talk, definitely talking about not just what you plan to do, but how you plan to grow, how you are going to take action, how are you going to handle the mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. How are you going to handle the mishaps? Things are going to get done, and obstacles are going to come up. Maintain that positive outlook and have a commitment. What's your commitment to what you're trying to do? Where's your heart in it? How dedicated are you to it? And then determination. You're going to have to be determined to endure some things that are going to come up and get in the way and pop up and changes. If you're trying to get certified for something, what are the requirements? You're going to have to endure some things. You have to be determined to get through it. And so whatever it may be, you got to have that right attitude. And attitude makes a difference. John Maxwell said, your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude determines how high you'll climb. And so that's one of the earliest things I read from Maxwell when it talks about leadership and motivation. And then look at your actions. Your actions need to start small. They can be small, but strategic, right? And so slow down right here for a minute. If it's small, it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be strategic. It can't be strategic. So when you talk about it, you're starting small, but it's manageable. And when you talk about it being manageable, that's something that you can handle. That's within your capacity. And so start small. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Yeah, people talk about how to eat elephant one bite at a time, but also one of the favorite things that I've read, one of the favorite books that I've read has been Brian Tracy, Eat the Frog. And so when eat that frog, what's on your breath, frog breath, right? And so when you do that, you go ahead and do those nasty things, do those hard things that are hard to get to, hard to get done, but you're willing to do it. And so start small. It's manageable. It's small but strategic, and then start step by step. Put the first things first. What are the first things that you need to do? What are the necessities? What's now, right? And what's needed. And so deal with that step by step. Go through and create a process. It doesn't have to always be that you're being disruptive or pioneering. You can go with a proven pathway and take that and then branch out from there. But take it step by step. What are the things that have to be in place? And start there. And do SMART goals, right? SMART. You want to be smart. You want to be strategic. You want to be measurable. You want to be attainable. You want it to be realistic. And you want it to be time bound, right? Time bound. Those are the things that make a difference. And so when we talk about SMART goals, those are the things we're talking about. And so you want to start small, step by step, and SMART. That's where you want to get started. So look at this. You're trying to transition from a dreamer to a doer, and that starts once you start doing something with your dream. I hope that makes sense. That's where it starts. Once you start doing something with your dream, that's when it starts to make sense. That's when it starts to come together. That's when you start to make that transition. So the first thing, you got to write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. And this comes from the Bible. Then the Lord answered me and said, write down the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. What's that mean? You got to write it down. What's your vision? Write it down. Write it down, document it, put it in something that you can go back to and reference and review and revisit. Write it down. Write it down. The Bible, it says on tablets. It can be on your iPad. It can be a Google Doc. It can be, something that you use, regular old notebook, right? But write it down. Make it plain. Don't try to fulfill it with a whole bunch of technical talk and terms and industry jargon. Make it plain. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you envision yourself doing? And put that in 1 or 2 sentences. Simple sentences, not complicated. Who, what, where, when, why, how. Keep it like that. Make it easy to run with, right? You read it and you say, oh, that's too overwhelming. You don't need a Magna Carta. All you need is to come up with some simple statement of what you intend to do. And you can build on it from there. Plenty of mission statements and vision statements have been written and rewritten and revised and updated and upgraded all the time. It happens. But you need something to start with. And so, plainly, write it down. Secondly, commit to making your dreams come true. You need some form of commitment. You need some form of commitment. And I'll say it again, you need some form of commitment. Commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. That's Proverbs 16:3. That comes from the Old Testament. Where's your commitment? Right? Get you a dream board, a vision board. Do daily affirmations, sticky notes on your mirror or dashboard, prayer, meditation. Get it to where you're doing something daily that keeps you connected to and committed to getting your dreams done. Something daily. Use a planner, right? We used to use day planners, use a scheduler, use Calendarly, use your Apple Calendar, your Google Calendar, whatever it is, right? Use a notebook, but keep track of your commitment to your dreams. What are you going to do? What do you vow to do, right? Thirdly, make at least one move towards your goals daily. One move. All you got to do is make one. Make one move towards your goals daily. I love Sean Cannell and what he shared about taking each day to get 1 times better than yesterday, right? If you can do that, then you're growing, you're progressing, you're making a move. At least one move a day. What does that look like? In the Old Testament, it said, in all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. That's Proverbs 14:23. In the morning, there should be action moves. AM, action moves, right? And so what type of actions are you taking, right? And then in the PM, what does the PM look like? PM is progress measurement. So you got action moves, you got progress measurement. Action moves, progress measurement, right? And what they look like is simply action moves. You're trying to see, how do I motivate movement today, right? How do I motivate myself to make a move today? And that happens a lot. We can get depressed, we can get derailed, distracted, detoured, whatever, feel defeated, right? Those things are bound to happen. How do you deal with that? How do you work through that? How do you live through that? How do you progress beyond that? And so each day you have to take another dose of inspiration, get some more motivation, use those affirmations to get you started, and engage in initiating making the moves, right? Making the moves that you need to make, checking off those necessities, meeting those requirements. Do that, and that's how you get closer to getting your dreams to come true. And then, end of the day, wrap up of the day, progress measurement. Use a process for measuring your progress. See if you're productive or if you're profitable. Did you meet your goals for the day? What happened with your daily agenda? What went on with that? And so that's what that is: action moves and progress measurement. Take it that way and use that. Then you got to journal your journey as you're measuring, as you're taking action. Use your action moves, to document your daily agenda for today's action steps. What are you going to do? What are you planning to do? People call it a to-do list, right? Daily, you have an agenda. Weekly, you have a schedule. Monthly, you have a calendar, right? Those are things that you're doing in order to move towards progress, towards knocking out your goals. That's what you want. And then, still in your journal, in the evening, that's where you measure your progress. Document how you measure your progress. So when we talk about, progress measurement, what are you using? What metrics are you using? Is it money? Is it percentage? Is it numbers? What are you using that you're using to measure progress? And in doing that, you should be able to say to yourself, hey, this is on point, this is on track, or man, I need to beef this up over here because I'm losing ground and I still am not going to make, my timeline. Go back to what we said about SMART goals, that they're time bound, right? If we're talking about SMART goals being time bound, then we also have to make sure that as we measure them, we see if we're on track and if we're making any ground, any progress on those goals. And those goals, that action planning is important as we move forward with our agenda and knowing what we're measuring. So SMART goals, know what we measure. Like I said, don't wait. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't expect overnight success. We'll go back to Napoleon Hill, and I think this is probably one of the best things that I've read from him out of his books, especially Think and Grow Rich. He said it like this, man. Keep your mind fixed on what you want in life, not on what you don't want. Keep your mind fixed on what you want in life, not on what you don't want. That makes sense. Where are you placing your focus? Where are you putting your energy? How are you using your time? How are you using those resources? Keep your mind, right, fixed on what you want. That's part of how you get there. So here's another warning, right? Before I let you go, here's another warning. Do not limit God in your prayers, right? For people of faith, do not limit God in your prayers. If you believe you serve a limitless God, then you have unlimited possibilities, right? And so when you pray, don't direct God like, Lord, just get me over here. Lord, have me go to where you have for me to go. Lord, send me where you desire for me to go. Lord, lay it down and lay it out as you see fit, but just guide me and lead me there. That's one way to do it. For people who are not people of faith, right? See it for what it is, and progress further based upon your commitment. You got to do your dream. This is just plain and simple. Do your dream, right? Write down your dreams. Commit to making your dreams come true. Make at least one move towards your goals daily, and journal your journey. See how you're doing it. Document, right? Document it, right? It's the same thing that we're doing in business. It's the same thing that we're doing when we're talking about trying to get something done. When we feel like we have a complaint, we got to document it. We have an issue, we got to document it. And journaling the journey will be refreshing because I'll be honest, I'm doing stuff now that I had planned in 2008, 2010, 2013, stuff I had in my journals from then. And now I'm seeing it and it's something different for me. I'm seeing it as something different for me, and I'm appreciative of what I'm seeing and what's happening and how it's coming together. This, like I said, is about being in the inspiration business. And by doing that, my goal is that you'll take this and move from just being a dreamer to being a doer. Got the rest of January to work on this and put some more things out there and technically put some more things in your hand. And take this time right now to get built up, to get some things set up within your own life, within your own day-to-day, and truly look at yourself and see, where am I? What do I need to do? How can I get to where I want to be, and what's in between here and there? What steps do I need to take? And I'll go into more detail in it next week on some specifics. I want to talk to artists, creators, individuals like that that are, you know, much like myself, writers, bloggers, folks that are doing something with content, and also people that are trying to just get something started. What if you could turn your hobby into your hustle? What if you could take something that you like and create something that turns into a business behind it or a side income behind it? Who knows? But if you don't get started, if you don't do some research, if you don't look into it, if you don't even try it, how are you going to know? And so that's where we're headed. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm giving. And that's what I hope works out for you. Hey, look, this is a reality, man. We up here not playing games. You got to do your dream. You got to become a dreamer. And so hopefully this is the transition that you need, the transition that you're ready for, transition that you're ready to partake in. And most of all, I just want to say that this is a great time for a new start. And most of all, hey, Happy New Year. And God bless. God be with you. Godspeed.